podcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 8, episode 37. Episode number, I just realized I don't know what number it is. Oh, 352. How's it going? I guess I could have just looked at your outline, Shandy.
That's true. That's what I went to go click for. I was like, oh, which tab? Oh, let's do tabs. I missed the moment.
My name is Colleen. Did we do that? Yes, we did. Okay.
We did.
We did. I'm all thrown off by not knowing the numbers. Anyway, how's it going, ladies?
It's a going.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. We're just getting by. Here we are at the end of April. The year is flying by.
God, the end of April.
Mm.
What the hell? It's the full moon tonight.
Is it a full
Is
moon?
it?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Sure. Yep.
I'm like trying to. I'm like, of course I can't see it out the window from here. I'm like, can you see it?
Either today or yesterday, but I think it was today. Yep, full moon today.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Indeed.
Happy Palindrome Week.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Although the only thing about that I hate to say is that, I mean, fully the month right now is 04.
No, we don't do that.
Okay, that's
we don't do that.
I mean, we do that if you're like filling out a form.
Yeah.
Yes, but the
Forget I said it.
The 0 doesn't count. Stop it. You're being a capitalist person.
No, because we'd count it if it worked out. If it made it work out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it doesn't, so we don't count it.
It is very
These are our rules. This is our house. We can't stop. We won't stop.
I do like it. I saw that somewhere. And I saw that somewhere and I was like, oh my God, I have to tell Colleen. And then I thought, no, she already knows. I'm sure she does.
Oh, I had forgotten. And then
this did not cross my life till just now.
I had forgotten, and then my old boss texted me yesterday that one of my old coworkers had gotten married over the weekend, and that they had waited for that particular weekend because she wanted to get married under a palindrome. I guess
that's pretty cool.
Oh, fun!
So, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if she was. Yeah, I don't know if my old boss was kidding or not, but I choose again. This is my house. These are my rules. And,
so she got married under a palindrome, but also she got married on 420. Yeah,
she did get married on 420.
That is a choice. That is a choice.
Celebrate whichever one you like, or combine them.
Yeah,
exactly. Anyway. So how was everybody's week off?
It was good. I had my 18th wedding anniversary, which is wild.
Great.
Yeah.
Was that
wild?
That's the 15th, right?
Tax day.
Yeah.
The most romantic day of the year.
Yep. No, it was really good. We had a really good we went out to a good restaurant, had a good meal. It was good times. It's funny though, we had been talking about this trip that we want to do next year, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll do it for our 20th anniversary. Oh, that'll be great. And then like a couple of weeks went by, and then at about the same time, both of us realized, we were like, wait a second, next year's not our 20th anniversary. We'll do it for our 19th anniversary. Woo!
This is romantic. This is romantic.
But yeah, 18. So if we would have had a kid like right when we got married, that kid would be
legal now.
Yeah. Wild.
Oh my God.
That is wild.
That is wild.
I just had to do some math on my calculator, but my 13th wedding anniversary is coming up on Monday the 29th.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13.
Oh,
all the black cats.
I look forward to all those pictures popping up in my news feed. That was a fun wedding.
Yeah, it was a fun wedding. For a lot of us. I actually was thinking about my wedding today while I was in the shower, of all things. And I was like, was so-and-so, my good friend from high school, there? And I was like, oh, yes, that's right. He had sex with another one of our friends. I was like, yep, they were there. Anyway, anyway, getting back to the stories we can tell on the show. Sorry, guys, I just cut a whole bunch out. But if you were at my wedding, you know what we were talking about. For reasons. Anyway, Shandy recommended that Jay and I check out Chimney Rock for an anniversary trip. So we were originally going to go this upcoming weekend, and then I don't know, there was something. Oh, I was booking it a week out or 2 weeks out, and we were limited on hotel choices. So I think we're going to go the second weekend in May.
Nice.
Where is it in North Carolina?
It's in North Carolina. It's in the mountains. It's going to be about 3.5 hours from here. But yeah, that's Chimney Rock Brewing. I love it. That's what you're drinking right now.
Yes.
What a coinky-dink.
Yeah.
That was not for my benefit.
I mean,
because I was like, why does she keep pointing? I see what she's pointing to, a beer.
a specific
the label.
Franck was really excited when I told him that you guys are gonna have fun. It's really cool, and the town is really cute.
Did you guys stay in the town? Because there's a lot of really cool places that are on like Lake Lure.
We drove by that, and Franck was like, "Oh, we could have stayed there. Oh, we should have stayed there. Oh,
okay, well, there are some really cool and reasonably priced Airbnbs like that.
Oh, nice.
You can like sleep like 16 people.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, if we ever keep talking about this broadcast trip, or maybe even next year for the meetup, everybody just flies into Charlotte and drives there. Or to Asheville or whatever.
I mean, that could be
an enormous house. And there's a cat coming in behind me.
Oh, hello, sweet girl.
That's really not a bad idea.
It's really great.
Yeah,
Change
I
it
like
up.
that idea.
Like truly, when I was looking, they were reasonably priced for just 2 of us to stay for 2 nights. And then I was like,
Wow.
that's such a big house. I need more friends.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So like, you drive by that to get into, at least we did, to get like to town. I really wanted to just like be able to walk everywhere, and you probably could, but it's just like a little bit farther and a little bit windier.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
She's so cute.
I think behind me, she climbs everything. She's still not great at jumping, but she literally just gets on my freaking. I got to get new drapes in my room, which I've had since my apartment. So they're like 15 years old, 16 years old at this point, but like they're all like holy now because she gets up there and she climbs to the top and she touches the bar and then swings.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's so cute.
Yeah, so Chimney Rock. We're gonna make that happen sometime over the next month. Very excited. But if anybody wants to, do a thing, I'd love to do a thing because I want to stay in a cool house, but I want to justify it with lots of people that are my friends.
Okay.
I would say,
how
like,
remote are we talking though? I feel like that is the start of a horror movie that maybe we all don't want to star in.
What, the house on the lake?
Yeah, like a giant Airbnb, beautiful home in a remote place. Like I don't know.
No, it's not that remote. It's a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're going to the haunted lake, Lake Lanier.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been talked off the ledge. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that sounds fun. I would you threw out Asheville and I would like jump on that, but it would probably not be the same price. But can you imagine the meetup in Asheville?
Oh my God, that would be so fantastic.
Be wild.
That would be utterly insane.
Yeah.
Stories would be had.
Stories would be had, especially a house in the mountains. We would have to have a very strict, like, nobody bringing things that are edible to the lake.
It's probably
But like, okay, there's this one place I'm looking for. It has 6 beds, 3 bedrooms, and it is $225 a night. So let's say you stayed there for 2 nights, and you have 6 people. Like you split it 3 ways. That's pretty reasonable, right? Right?
Oh my goodness, that is
Extremely reasonable. Yeah. Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. Anyway, just saying. But there's like really cool things. This cottage that I was looking at that has 5 beds and 2 bedrooms, which would be perfect if the 3 of us went, because like 2 couples and then like the kids could have bedrooms too.
Oh,
My kids could
nice.
share a bed, and then Edith could have a bed. And it is $188 a night, $600 total for 2 nights, and it has this glorious view of the mountain, and it has Adirondack rocking chairs overlooking the mountain in the back.
Wow.
Did you say $600 for the 2 nights?
Yes.
Total.
So it's $200 per couple for 2 nights?
That's
This
amazing.
is really, we should do something like this.
But like my mind goes to like, what's wrong with it? Does it come with dead bodies?
No,
Is there a ghost
just
that lives
count.
there? Like, is there like
Bring on the fucking ghost. As long as
Just
it's not like
out.
Ghost Face from Scream.
I don't know. That sounds like the beginning of a horror movie. I don't know.
It has a 4.86 rating.
It's
Could
just a
be
cheaper
bots,
part.
I don't know.
It's just a cheaper part of the country, which is
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
great.
exactly it.
All
It's a
right.
smaller, like, a more niche part of the country.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. I gotta get on booking that. But that's what's going on here. I've watched, the only other really big news I have is my OBGYN as of Friday, April 26th, is going to be back in network with my insurance.
yes.
Wonderful.
I was like, oh, thank God, because I did not want to have to
Nice.
deal with figuring that out.
Oh, network,
Amazing.
in network, out of network. So stupid.
Yeah.
All of it. But
Great
I'm
news,
glad.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Anyway, anything else going on with you guys? Oh, you both watched Girls Five Eva. I've watched half of it, so 3 episodes.
Yeah. And
Yes, I've watched all of it.
yeah, I really binged all seasons. Couldn't remember the first one, so went back. It's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was like it was like a right amount, Like
Yeah.
I feel like I was able to kind of do an episode or 2 a night, and sort of it was. But I hope they make more. I feel like it ended in a way that, like, I feel like with shows when they're sort of not sure if they're going to be renewed or not,
Yeah.
they kind of hedge their bets for like the story could continue, but like also this could be a satisfying ending.
Like the first season of Girls Five Eva, yes.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I guess the first season did kind of have that same ending. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it in full next week. So that if anybody has any feedback they want to talk about, it won't be like a full whatever, but let's talk about it. I'm gonna finish watching it. Maybe I'll even rewatch seasons 1 and 2. But yeah, if anybody has watched it, or now you're on warning, you're on notice. It's easy, 25 minutes each, 6 episodes. That's like watching 2 movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although now I'm very excited that you guys get the big pussy energy joke. I did some massive spring cleaning over the weekend, and I just listened to that song on repeat a couple of times and got in the mood.
Nice.
Because if you go on iTunes, there's actually a remix version of it.
Dude,
big pussy energy. It's
okay, because I full on was like looking for the music. I was like looking at the soundtracks and almost bought, but the soundtracks that you find, it's like by season. And I kind of wanted like the best songs from each season, but I was fully down that rabbit hole. I'll have to go and listen to that.
It didn't even occur to me to look into it.
Yeah, it's on Apple Music. So I just kind of add my favorite ones from each season to just a little playlist. So I've got the Dawn I'm Afraid song. I'm afraid of heights, afraid of flying, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No. And I'm afraid that someone will have sex with my dead body and be like, not worth it. I also always think of the line in that song when she's like, I only breastfed for 4 months. Is he gonna be a bond trader? We'll talk more about it next week, all 3 seasons. But I do love the crap out of that show. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, we had Eden's birthday over the weekend. Yeah. I survived a week of single parenting, just barely.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was a real doozy, a real humdinger. But Eden's party was fun. It was very cold. Mother Nature heard that the theme was Frozen and showed up in kind.
Oh boy.
Very windy, very cold, very not an April day. But we all survived. Yeah, we came back to the apartment. My parents were here. My brother and sister-in-law and the baby were here. So that
Aw.
was really fun to like have them here. And Eden was so excited to have her little baby cousin.
Aw.
She's like, I'm gonna show baby Nina my room, and it was very cute. But yeah, we're hanging out. Daniel was leaving for his trip that night, and he was packing, and we were all just kind of like hanging out. Another one of our the Culings, one of our other Marist friends, were hanging out with us. And then as everyone was starting to get ready to leave, I'm in the kitchen and I notice there's like a big red mark on Captain's face. And I'm like, hey, buddy, what's that on your face? Oh, it's blood. Oh, it's a big, huge gash on his face. So I, of course, freak out because.
So how did he get in a cat fight by himself?
Right.
God, what was it from? Well, I guess you don't know.
Was it Fight Club?
Still don't know. That's the kicker. There's nothing in the apartment that like had like an equal amount, like, the puzzle piece didn't match up. There was no inverse. So like I call our vet and the vet's like, you have to take him to like, an emergency room. Here's a few places we recommend. So like I like an idiot. I'm like, I'm going to call and see what their wait time is. I'm going to be responsible. So the first one was like, it's like a 2-hour wait. And I'm like, that's too long. We're going to go to the other place. Because I was thinking, veterinary ERs aren't like the actual ER where you just wait for hours and hours.
Surprise!
It was a naive time. I didn't know then. I know now, but I get ahead of myself. So I did at least, plan because like Daniel was going to have to leave for the airport in like 3 hours. And I sort of do the math. And so like my parents were still there. So like my dad and me, I'm like, okay, we'll go to the vet with Captain. My mom will stay here with Eden. So then like if Daniel does have to leave for the airport before we get back, the child won't be home. And Daniel won't miss his flight for a trip that he's very much been looking forward to.
Oh my God.
So, we all have our jobs and we go do them. So my dad and I were sitting in the waiting room, which turns out is just like any ER, and you're just waiting for hours and hours. And they're like, we're checking in, and they're like, this was actually a really great place. Like, all joking aside, they were like so organized and like very clean and like, we felt well taken care of, but it's an emergency room, all the things that go into that. But they're like, don't worry, you're like fifth in line, like great. So we're waiting and the hours are ticking by. They like take us into triage really quickly and they like take all his vitals to basically determine that like he can sit for a while. That like he's not in active distress. So we're like, oh, great. But then we're sitting and the hours are ticking away and like Daniel had to leave for the airport and it's like, have a great trip. We're still waiting to see a doctor. And like, we're waiting and finally they call our name.
Had the bleeding stopped by then at least?
Yeah, like it had kind of clotted, but like it was, he was in a carrier. So it was kind of hard to tell. He wasn't like gushing blood. But like, he had a big giant open wound on his face.
Yeah.
And I say face, it really is more. Yeah, it was really more like, his neck. But
okay. Oh, that's even scarier.
Yeah. So like we're waiting and it's sort of getting close to like dinner time and like they finally call us into an exam room and like so I like hop on my phone and I like order some Seamless like for my mom and for us and I just like put our food like in the oven or something and we'll like eat it whenever we get back. And so then we're sitting in the exam room for like half an hour before like the poor tired emergency room veterinarian comes in and was like, you know, very, very kind and sort of very thorough. And like, because, you know, Captain's on a ton of meds and like, you know, is an old man. And so there was just like a lot of nuance to
Yeah.
his case. And,
Hmm.
you know, they spent the time and like did a really good job sort of, you know, talking me through, you know, like what potentially could have happened. And then they're like, okay, so like we need to take him upstairs and like sedate him so we can actually like clean and examine the wound, because like what cat is going to be still long
Yeah.
enough to let you
Yeah.
dress that.
Right.
No.
So they're like, you're going to leave him here and like we'll call you when you can come back and get him.
Hmm.
Did
And, like,
they sorry, can I
Yes.
ask did they like explain, like, did they have theories about what?
Yeah.
They did. So it's
Okay.
the and what probably happens, like the one that probably is the most accurate, is that because he is on a steroid like on regularly, it makes his skin very sensitive. So it could have been a matter of like he was
Oh.
like
Oh,
scratching himself.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
The-
because it was
Okay.
like of unknown origin, like
Yeah,
they
sure,
sort of
sure,
had to
sure, yeah.
treat it like it could be infected, like they had to sort of go through the extra protocol.
Right.
So at this point, I think it was like 6:30 at this point, and we had left our apartment at like 3.
Oh.
So we thankfully get back in time for bedtime, which was like then my fear that I'm just like, oh God, like poor
Yeah.
little girl, like she like had this great birthday, and they're like, well,
Yeah, yes.
like happy birthday, bye. Like, so we make it back in time for bedtime. I'm able to put her down for bed, but like there's still this like open-ended question of like, when is the cat going to be available for me to go pick him up? So they were like,
Right.
you know, they're like, if no like emergency, because again, it's an emergency room. They're like, if no
Mm.
emergency cases come in and like we're able to like treat him, like, you know, 9 o'clock maybe. But you know, if some animal comes in that like is in more immediate distress, like he's gonna have to wait. So they're
Yeah.
like, "Mm." So like my poor parents, they're like, we'll wait with you. And like my dad had to like be up early the next morning to like do something, you know. And so we're sort of talking through. I was like, okay, well, like if like here's my situation, like if I can't come back tonight to pick up the cat, like what happens? And they're like, we'll hold him like without charge, but you do have to come by 7 a.m. to pick him up. I was like, okay, well that's not gonna work, because if you ever tried to get like a toddler up and out of the house before 7 a.m., it's not easy.
Yeah.
All by yourself, no, that's not gonna happen either. So we devised this plan that like my dad's gonna go home and like my mom will stay
Mm.
here and spend the night, and I'll put her on a train the next morning. So like,
Ugh.
hooray
God.
for mothers.
Yeah.
But like she didn't have anything to stay over. Like luckily I kept like extra toothbrushes. I had a pair of like maternity sweatpants that like were like
Nice.
extra big, because like my mom's
Oh.
taller than me, like, you know, and just yeah. So like we'd cobble together stuff for her to like be comfortable. You know, I call the vet at like, you know, we don't hear anything. I call at like 10. I was like, hey, just like checking in. How's Captain doing? And they're like, you know, you know, the doctor's still in with him, like, you know, maybe another hour. I was like, okay. Um,
Ugh.
so finally at like, I think like 11 o'clock at night, they call and they're like, okay, you know, like probably you can probably come pick him up in like half an hour. And I was like,
Oh my
great. Like
god.
I'm about 20 minutes away. So like, that's perfect. Actually, I'll like, I'll get my shoes on and I'll get in a car. Cause that's the other thing. I was like, I'm not driving over there, but I'm like, I'm not moving my car. I'm going to take a lift.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get in a lift and get over there by like 11:30, and then I wait in the waiting room for probably another half an hour.
Oh my god, of
Oh my
course.
God.
But they had Sabrina on, like they had a TV in the waiting room. So I was like, I'm fine. I'm just gonna sit here and watch Sabrina. I'm like, really, no rush. This is fine. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, which Sabrina? Fucking cat.
It was, I think it was probably like season 3. The
But
Chilling
like the
Adventures.
teenage okay.
Yeah, the Chilling Adventures. Sorry, the one
Okay.
we all know
Yeah.
and love.
Yeah.
It was the season where there's 2 Sabrinas. There's like the one that lives in hell and the one that
Yes.
lives like
On Earth.
on
Last
Earth.
season.
Oh.
Yeah, that is the last season, right? So it was like they were there. So I'm like,
keep talking. The cat just spilled an entire glass of water on this
Oh
desk.
no. Oh
Now
no.
that
oh
I'm
no,
determined that
Oh no.
oh
all
no.
electronics are moved away, I'm gonna mute my
Fix
mic,
that.
but I'm still listening to what you're saying because I can hear it. I'm just gonna get a towel from the bathroom right next to me.
Yeah,
Keep going.
good luck on that. Good luck on that. Yeah. So waiting, they finally give me back my poor cat. Oh,
Oh.
and they like take me into like the triage room to like talk me through his meds because now he's on like pain meds and he's on like antibiotics and all this stuff. And, and it's like all these things, and it's like I finally have him. I'm like, okay, buddy, like we're gonna get ready to go, and I'm like, I call the lift and I'm sort of waiting, and then like for a lovely bit of, well, not lovely, but like for a bit of perspective, it's like I'm packing him up, and there's like this group of like, they must have been roommates, I would imagine, 3 sort of young-ish people that like sort of came out of a room, and they're all like sort of crying and hugging each other, and it's like,
Oh.
okay, like that's the perspective I needed. Like this,
Yeah.
while harrowing and like borderline shitty, like I was able to take home,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cat in a diminished but still intact state.
Oh, Cappy.
But he does have an open wound because once they were
Damn.
able to like really examine it, it turns out it was not as deep as it looked. It was actually all just like first layer of
Aw.
Okay.
skin. So they had to leave it open because there wasn't enough to like close it.
Oh.
So like
Right, like
that's
they
why
couldn't stitch it or
they couldn't
glue it
stitch
or whatever.
Exactly. Like there wasn't enough. So he has the cone and this like big. So like he looked just as bad as when
Yeah.
he went in, but they're just with like some trimmed whiskers and like shaved hair around the area. So like he looked a fool, but yeah, it was like some great perspective of like, but he's here and like he's gonna be okay. And I bring him home by like 12:30 at night, which was like
Oh
the
my
latest I had been
God.
out on a Saturday night. I can't tell you how long. I'm like in the lift home, and I was like, God, when was the last time I was out this late on a Saturday night? I wish it was for something more fun.
Right. Oh man. How's he doing now?
He's okay. It's definitely like slowed him down. I think,
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about him, but I think as as I was reminded, like he's now on like a fair amount of meds, so like they do make him pretty groggy. So where I was just like, oh God, is he okay? Is this the decline? It's just like, no, he's just on a lot of meds.
He's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. We all have. He's okay, but then it was, solo parenting is also pretty tough. Then you add on to like the fact that now I have a cat that requires, multiple
God.
syringes of different medications
Yeah.
multiple times a day.
Oh, that's so rough.
Cone removal and
Right.
reapplication.
Right. But then it's like you take the cone off so he can eat, and then you have to watch him eat. So it's like trying to like, it just became a real like who's on first sort of week. And somehow we made it through.
Oh, Captain. Yeah.
That is a massive picture of you, Colleen.
Yes, it's Zachary made mine take it home. It's my senior year picture, but I hid it back here, thinking I'd never have to see it again, and now it's full of water.
Nice.
So yeah, this was my senior year of high school picture. Thank you.
Nice.
It's very nice, but it is it's just large.
It is large. Thank you. It's massive.
Yeah.
And Zachary's going to inherit it someday because he's the reason why this fucking thing is in my house.
He will treasure it.
I'm sorry. I cannot tell you how much water there is all over everything. Like I'm going to have to put a fan in here when I go up because the carpet is like squishing with water because the desk is flat. So, everything went through.
But the laws of the universe, you never spill a partially full glass. It's always an absolutely full glass.
Always an absolutely full glass.
That's just how it works.
But it's a full moon miracle that none of it got on your whole desk.
Yeah, the garbage truck
That's true. I mean, the whole thing could have fried and shut right on down. Good stuff.
That's good
times.
Good times. Anyway, that's not nearly as bad as what's going on with Captain. So
Yeah. So there was that.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. Is he? Does he have a follow up soon or?
I have to call we have to follow up with our vet, so I have to make
Okay.
a call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or
That's
just
good.
schedule
Because
it online.
those emergency vets on the weekend. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, and we were just talking about how I was like, oh man, we haven't like sunk a bunch of money into Captain in a while.
As soon as you thought about it.
Right. They like, and they're very kind if they like, give you the bill of like the estimate before they do any procedures at all. So you could say like, I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
But like, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I can't leave his
Yeah.
face open and bleeding. So like,
Right.
Yeah.
take my money. Well, and that, God, and even on top of all
no.
that, I realized like at that point that like I didn't have my wallet on me.
Oh no!
Like,
Do you have Apple Pay at least on your phone?
I did.
Okay.
That's ultimately how I paid. But like
Oh,
I was in such a like
shit.
tizzy with like all the chaos of everything that I didn't think to check the bag that I grabbed to make sure the bag I grabbed had my wallet, because it's like depending on how I'm leaving the house, like am I mom mode, am I just me mode, like am I running errands mode, like I move my wallet from different bags, and the bag I
Right.
grabbed didn't have my wallet in it.
Yeah.
So like thankfully I didn't drive us there either. Like
Oh my God. Yeah. 'cause
Like,
you would
yeah.
have
Yeah.
confidence.
yeah, I was like, this is very embarrassing. I don't have my wallet. And they're like, well, do you have Apple Pay on your phone? And I was like, I do.
You know,
It comes in handy.
it does, yeah,
Comes in
feels
handy.
like it could definitely be one of those things that like goes either way, like, with technology, but it 100% is worth it.
Yeah. I was
Right.
dubious at first, but
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking useful.
It is very useful.
And vets, they always get their money. They're like, let's list all the ways that you can pay for this without a physical credit card.
Right.
And they all involve even higher lines of credit
Right.
and interest rates. Can I interest you in care credit? Or
Don't worry, we gonna get paid.
yeah. I have 3 doctor's appointments coming up over the next week, actually, Thursday, Friday, and next Tuesday, which I had forgotten about. Oh, Tuesday, I'm going to the poop doctor. Very excited about that.
Nice.
I've been taking these awesome probiotics lately, and I haven't had any issues in that department. But, at this point, it's free. So I'm going to go.
Might as well.
And by poop doctor, I mean gastrointestinologist, because they want to look at the slow digestion, blah, 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 that's related to Tangiers, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, fuck yeah, this is the doctor I've been waiting to see for my whole life.
So wait, so this isn't a follow-up. This is a new
doctor.
Got it.
Yeah. So I have, what the fuck do I have on Thursday? I forget what I have on Thursday, but on Friday I have that neurologist test where they're doing a baseline, because someday I could get neuropathy. So they're doing a baseline test, which is why I've been putting it off since February. I was supposed to get it done, and this is finally I was just like, okay, fine, I can't reschedule a third time because I've scheduled twice already. So that's on Friday, and I forget I have something on Thursday, and I cannot. Oh, I don't have something on Thursday. Zachary has something on Thursday. Guess what he has?
What?
A consultation for braces.
That seems very young.
Yes, it does.
Has he lost all his baby teeth yet?
No, he hasn't, actually. He's got a lot of baby teeth left, but they said that the teeth that he has now, it's enough for them to start braces, because they're like all fucked up and like kind of zigzaggy. So, and I guess at this point, he won't probably lose, he most likely won't lose more teeth for another year or 2 years. Just because where he is in development.
Yeah.
So they're doing the thing. And I thought they were going to do like the molding. And Jay says that they don't do the molding anymore. That's like a rite of passage.
So then how do they know?
I don't know. I'm going to find out on Thursday. But like you put your...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. And now like the more I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I hadn't lost all my baby teeth when I started orthodontia.
I started in 3rd grade, and I had them off by 6th grade.
Yeah, I can't
which was
remember
good because I had braces and really bad bangs. But I had glasses and really bad bangs.
Nice. I do know that my orthodontist pulled a few of my baby teeth out of my mouth.
I did too, and I had the palate expander.
Yeah.
With the
thing just like,
the night steer.
Oh, the worst. And it's like, no, I don't think it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to have some removed
Yeah.
in order for them to fit all that in. But that night
tired
gear
of
palette
waiting.
expander thing, you know, where they like twist the key?
Never had that, but I did
Oh,
have
it's
like headgear for like an uncomfortable amount of time. Like
it
years
was
and
raw.
years I had
Oh,
headgear.
I am so
Wow.
sorry.
Yeah.
My headgear was with that palette expander, and my parents had to twist the key, and the
Oh,
food would get stuck in it, and it was very annoying. So I did tell Zachary that it was just a consultation. He wasn't getting them on Thursday. And we're doing his birthday party on June 1st. And I promised him that I would not make the appointment to actually get the braces put on until after that because he wants to have
Nice.
popcorn.
That's
So
fair. That is fucking
I was
fair.
like, okay, we can wait until after your birthday party for the
Huh.
braces.
I somehow never had braces or any like retainers or any of that. My brothers had all of that, but
Really? Oh,
I'm
I
convinced that
had
my teeth are
everything.
not like anything great. In fact, my teeth are not, but I guess they're straight enough.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Oh,
Straight
yeah.
enough. I
Straight
mean,
enough is fine.
Yeah.
exactly.
Even with braces though, it's like by the time you hit this point in life, like
They
they don't
move throughout the rest of your life.
yeah, they don't stay straight. Like when I got my permanent one on top removed and like the orthodontist at the time that like gave me the new retainer was like, "Oh, like here we can fix that and see how this tooth is starting to like do this." And I was like, not ah, la 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 la, just give me the retainer.
Yeah.
Insurance covers it when you're sub like 15. They do not recover it when you're in your 30s.
Yes, I knew
Which is
that.
Yeah,
interesting.
it does. They
They
do not.
don't, but
Because if it's for the same thing, then why
Same
would
thing.
age matter?
my old boss, I'm bringing her up so much this episode.
Yeah.
I haven't worked for her for 2 years. But she had braces as a 40-year-old or whatever. In which she did they had the HSA plan and they had extra money that they had to burn.
So
So
she used that.
she
That's
used
smart.
that for her braces.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you could do stuff like that, but like your actual like dental plans, it like very clearly because I looked into it because I was like, oh, can I?
Yeah.
And you have to be like, I think it's like 18 or younger. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, and they cover it.
Because only young people need good teeth. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But you should look into whatever, like, I mean, if you don't have to, Shandy, your teeth are fine, but like looking into, as an adult, like, because Invisalign, like, there's a whole lot of
Yeah.
different things now that, are different than, like, there's more options that may be covered more, is what I'm trying to get at.
If you felt strongly about it.
No,
Oh,
I'm
you
fine
did?
with my teeth.
I think I should get a retainer again because my teeth have definitely moved. I need to use floss every time I eat. So I carry little floss picks around with me if I'm not
Nice.
home because
yeah.
every single time I eat, there's too much space now.
Yeah.
I get shit in my teeth all the time too, but I do
Yeah.
floss twice daily. I don't know. I mean, my teeth like, I think it's more. Yeah, it's not the straightness or anything. I don't know. I just whatever. I always think other people have more like beautiful teeth than me, but it's also
You could do
fine.
those gummies that what's her face was chewing in Girls 5 Emma. Summer's things.
Oh my god, those are insane. But mostly like it's fine. Totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I have very large teeth, so I like feel like they have.
You have nice teeth.
You do.
Well,
You have a nice rack of teeth,
but they're very big. So like you have to make sure they come correct because you see them because they're very large.
I would say my one tooth thing that like always bothered me was this like sort of like spot type thing on one of my front teeth, and I just always had it my entire life. And it's just like really stuck out. And then in Monterey, my dentist one time was like, "Hey, do you want me to put a filling on that? Like, it's on the surface of my tooth."
Yeah.
He's like, it's covered by insurance. Do you want me to? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah.
Such things are possible.
And I was like, what even is it? He was like, oh, it's probably like you were lacking some mineral when you were like, when I was an infant or child or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that happens. And but it makes technically like the tooth like structurally maybe like a little bit less strong. So like I think that's how he like, justified like to the insurance, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn. And he did it. And it's great.
Amazing.
A happy ending.
A happy ending.
Yeah. Who knew? the thing that I just like sort of like grudgingly accepted that always bugged me. It's like, oh shit. But for the rest, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
It's
like my
always
teeth
great
have,
to have a doctor or a dentist that's looking out for you.
well, and I was like, how did none of my other dentists my entire life ever even mention this? Like, what the hell?
Right.
It's great. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teeth.
Okay, let's take a quick break right here so I can get more water.
That's fair. I could use more water too.
And
Yeah,
maybe
same.
something else at this point. And then
this.
when we come back, depending on the feedback, which I haven't looked at yet, we'll try to get through that. And yeah, I had something else, but we've had some good discussion. We can do that for next week.
Great.
Okay.
And talk about Girls Fed Living next week. So, okay, we will be right back. All right, we are back. We're ready to get into some feedback. We're gonna start with the facey back, and Matt says, "I wonder when you'll have him on." And it's a John Cicada album because the cicadas are coming. Cicadas.
That's solid.
Very good.
And then John or Matt says he did a great duet with Gloria Estefan on I See Your Smile in her concert back in the day. I'm going to say that John said that and saw it.
John said that too, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
way that I pasted it was.
Yes.
It's weird. It makes more sense on Facebook. But.
Okay, fair. Randy says so Randy clarifies the whole top 10 list with the way, blah, blah, blah. He says, in my 2023 top 10 film list, I had listed The Way separately as a reprisal. The Way was the original 2010 film starring Martin Sheen, written by Emilio Estevez, about hiking the Camino de Santiago, the traditional pilgrimage route in Spain, as well as France and Portugal. So that's
Which I
what
want to do someday.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. Let's do it.
Too.
Yeah.
That's
also
Broad
side note.
Things.
Okay, I'm probably last to the party here because that's just kind of I live under a rock. But I didn't realize until I rewatched this the other day and went down a rabbit hole of looking people up. I did not realize that Emilio Estevez was Martin Sheen's son.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen's brother.
And Charlie Sheen's brother.
And the older
Shandy.
Emilio Estevez gets, the more he looks like Martin Sheen.
Welcome to 40 years ago.
Alike. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could, but it just kind of blew my mind. Like I said, it's I realized everyone
Estevez
else
is their actual
original
last name.
Actual last name.
Yeah.
And then Martin.
Yeah.
Martin.
I mean,
Sheen
if your
changed
first
it.
name's Emilio, you definitely.
Yeah. Emilio
You're
Sheen
keeping-
is the kind of a weird name.
Yeah.
Exactly. Agreed.
Doesn't seem ring to it, does it?
No.
Randy continues. I'd always heard good things about the film, but I'd never seen it. In May 2023, it was re-released in theaters all over the country for one night only. I thought it would be a great opportunity to see it on the big screen, and I was not disappointed. I really liked it. It definitely inspired me to start researching options for the hiking the Camino myself. Turns out there are a lot of different ways and options and different routes.
Indeed.
I have no immediate plans, but it's on my list of possible trips one day. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
Same. But let's stop talking about it because we don't need like anyone else. It's already very popular. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
I do want to just because we're not done yet with Randy's comment, but I do want to say that the re-releasing of movies in the post-COVID era is kind of cool. Like
Totally.
Yeah.
we took the kids to see Back to the Future on October 21st is Back to the Future Day last year. And it was the first time they'd ever seen it. And it was really cool to watch in the theaters. It was like a matinee performance.
Nice.
And it was just really cool. Anyway.
Totally.
And
if it helps movie theaters stay alive and it's fun for us.
Yeah.
Win-win.
And you want to say that everything's back to normal, but as someone who has had children who have been out of school for 3 weeks before yesterday, as we're recording, there has been no fucking movies out.
That's true. I couldn't tell you a single movie that's in the theater right now.
Okay. Randy continues. With my newfound interest in the Camino de Santiago, I learned of a new book, Walking with Sam, that was just published in May 23. and written by Andrew McCarthy. Yes, the actor from the 80s.
Oh.
The only McCarthy I know is Jenny.
Oh, the only one I know is Kevin. Gosh, both of them
No,
McCarthy
Andrew
suck.
McCartney from wasn't he? No, not Pretty in Pink. Right? No.
It has to be from
One
the
of
80s.
those. Yeah, one of those Molly Ringwald movies. He's very cute. Of the Brat Pack boys, I think he is the cutest.
Is he the? I guess maybe we should read on because he might say something.
Speaking of
He's
Emilio
probably-
Estevez,
Brat Pack, here we come.
let me see. Okay, I just he's in
Oh.
Pretty in Pink. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And also the weekend at Bernie's.
Oh,
And he's
so this
61
episode
years
is
old.
like
Yeah.
now the Brat Cat Pack episode. Since your cat got sick and my cat fucked everything.
Well,
Anyway, sorry. Okay, that was a stupid joke. Good. The book is an account of McCarthy walking the Camino de Santiago with his teenage son Sam in 2021.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoyed the book. Actually, I listened to the audiobook read by the author. That's cool.
Nice.
I only mention the book in case anyone is interested in a modern first-hand account of walking the Camino. And now the term reprisal. I think it's reprisal. I'm going with that. So fuck you guys. Okay. Quite frankly, I messed up. For some reason, I've been calling films or shows that return as reprisals. This is clearly wrong. A reprisal is an act of retaliation.
That's true.
What?
Okay.
Reprise?
Yeah,
So then
reprisal. Yeah.
Let's just say reprise. Yeah.
Reprise? Oh gosh, okay. I feel Ro, I need your English help. Guys, this is gonna be a quiz on the end of the season. It's a quiz. This is gonna be a quiz. Remind me. I'm writing it down right now. Reprise versus reprise. But they're
That
both
makes
gonna be
sense because I was like, yeah, the French is a reprise.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, I just
yeah,
wrote down reprise versus reprise.
We all just
and
went with it, Randy. I love this mea culpa for a misused word.
I do too. It's kind of like my spirit
I know.
is feeling you.
Yeah,
I don't want to
totally.
say spirit animal, but it's kind of like a spirit animal.
Exactly. Like Randy, man, like this email has the Camino de Santiago and then some like vocabulary stuff. This is great. We're just like, we're right there with you.
Look, Randy, throw in some fucking math and it's like perfect.
Numbers.
Like
I'll skip
out
the
of
math.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip the math.
Numbers 10 out of 10. Okay. Well, let's find out. Let's read on, shall we? A reprisal is an act of retaliation. My bad. I think I was thinking of reprise. Reprise. Now, this too probably isn't correct either, but either. But it's definitely closer since a reprise is a repeated performance or repeated passage of music. So, repeat performance could be called a reprise. Okay, Randy, there was no pronunciation guidance with this.
Again, I think anything goes because the word does not come from English.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just
so
saying.
everybody, while I'm reading this,
Also, either
please-
either.
yeah, just
I recently. Sorry, go ahead.
Go.
No, I read somewhere recently, and I didn't verify it, but I'm just gonna say that it's true. I recently read somewhere that usually, like in the north, it's usually pronounced either, and in the south, it's pronounced either.
Oh, that's why
So-
I can't figure it out. 'cause I
Exactly.
I mean, anecdotally, I would that rings true in my existence.
That's why I said I did not even research
Yeah.
it. I was just like, oh, yep, okay, yeah, I'm an either person.
Yeah, either.
Makes sense.
I think I don't know what I am.
Well, because now you've
Well, 'cause
spent
you've-
like a significant amount of time in
Yeah.
the South that
You've
you're
lived
probably
both
hearing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're fucking with me because I thought I was a northern girl regardless.
I mean, you are,
If
but
you are, you're whatever you say you are,
undoubtedly
but-
get into.
We are.
You know, I remember this linguistics study when I was a grad student at the University of Montana in a linguistics class. They were looking for participants who were Montanans. But I was not eligible to participate in it because you could not have lived outside of the state for a certain amount of time. And because I had lived out of state for 4 years,
Oh,
I
that
was
makes
so
sense.
like, you know,
Yeah.
like your language
You were
patterns are
tainted.
gonna, Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was
You were
tainted.
tainted.
Yeah. For example, I was tainted because I probably I no longer say pop. I definitely say soda.
Well, yes, that's
But I'm
because
from pop
pop is
country.
wrong. You don't say pop because it's wrong.
It's not wrong. It's just it's
Hey,
different.
it's
It's silly. But I definitely grew up saying pop. Yeah.
Pop
Just
and
to throw
tennis
back,
shoes and
I mean,
I
they
just
are
want
tennis shoes. What
I
else?
want
would it
everyone
be?
to know
sneakers. But
that
you don't just wear them to play tennis. You wear them for all
Yeah, but
manner of
you
things.
don't just wear them to sneak around.
Touche. I don't have a good comeback for that.
I kind of do, but I don't want to prolong this. I just want to point out that for the full moon discussion back about 45 minutes ago, the moon is super bright
Or 10
outside my
minutes
window
ago,
right now.
depending on the editing.
Or yeah, right. Depending. No, okay. Well, editing wise, it was about an hour and a half ago. But I just want to point out that if I were to shut the light off, I can still see the full
See
moon.
by the light of the moon?
Yes, I can.
Dance by
Nice.
the light of the moon.
See by the light of the moon. Come to my window. That fucking cat will be out there soon. Anyway, for anybody who's, can't see us, which is all of you, I just turned all the lights out in the room while I was talking about that. Okay, poor Randy is like, are you guys ever going to finish reading my email? And the
Not
answer
today.
is, I don't know. We should check a magic 8 ball.
Yeah.
I think it says chances are not good.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
I don't even know where we were. Okay. Reprise is an act of retaliation. My bad. I think I was thinking reprise/reprise. Reprise. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this too probably is incorrect, but it's definitely closer since a reprise is a repeated performance or repeated passage of music. Yeah, I know. So a repeat performance should be called a reprise. Reprise. Okay, there we go.
One second.
Oh no,
Mm.
she's
Here we
bringing
go.
up.
Here we go.
Oh, she's bringing language into it.
Ooh.
Reprise.
Reprise. Okay, reprise.
Reprise.
Works for me.
Alright.
Great.
Cool. I feel vindicated.
No.
So a repeat performance should be called a reprise. It's probably a stretch calling a 13-year-old film returning to theater as a reprise, but that's what I was thinking. You're definitely
Hey,
not wrong
we
in
got
questioning
you.
my choice of words. A little education gone bad can be a dangerous thing. Oh, Randy, it took us
Hey.
15 minutes to get through your email, so
Yeah, no, you're good,
That
man.
was great.
it took 15 minutes and all the lights in my room getting shut out. I feel comfortable. I don't know if I'm going to turn them back on.
I said go for it.
You asked me about my number 2 film on the list, Fry Bread and Me. No. Fry Bread, Face and Me. A young boy from Santiago, a whale's vagina.
Oh man, I don't know the joke, but I like it.
It's from Anchorman.
I haven't seen it.
Santiago, a
Oh,
whale's vagina.
I don't think that's what that means.
I mean, if we're gonna be reprising things.
Solid
A young
one.
boy from San Diego is sent to spend the summer with his Navajo grandmother on the reservation in Arizona, where he meets and connects with his cousin.
Oh, cool.
It's a small independent film that can be seen on Netflix. I really enjoy it.
I'm gonna put that on my list.
Nice.
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yes. Thank you, Randy. I'm so sorry it took us like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's it's the sign of a great email.
It's not a great email.
Indeed.
Or Facebook comment, as the case may be.
Exactly. Matt says regarding the woman with the middle name Nee, maybe the people at the hospital were Monty Python fans.
The
Oh, nice. Yeah.
nights we say.
Did I ever tell you guys my Monty Python story?
No, but
Do it anyway.
Okay. I mean, the punchline is kind of ruined now because of the premise, but I remember when I was living in France, hanging out with Franck's, some of his coworkers, and they were talking, and his boss was like asking me about if I had seen this thing, and kept going on about Monty Python. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I've never heard of it. And he's like, but you're American, you speak English. How do you not know about Monty Python? And it like fully like 10 minutes, it finally clunked into place. He was saying Monty Python. Like, I couldn't parse the words because they're not French words.
Okay, would
But-
anybody
right.
object to me calling this episode Monty Python's Will's Vagina?
I'm down.
Sure.
Does that sound weird? We'll workshop it. I might not
Monty
do that.
Python. I wish there's a way that you could make it the title Monty Python, but it's just literally spelled the same, but said with a French accent without any break between Monty and Python. It's one of those moments where I was like, oh, Monty Python. Like, oh,
Amazing.
wee bab. Anyway.
Oh my god. Let's see. We've got. Let's see. What else do we have from? So okay, we have some feedback that's not in here, but I did solicit it later, and it's about Taylor Swift's "The Tortured Poets Department" album,
Oh.
which I listened to and went through the full gamut of not liking it to being like, this isn't that bad, to being like, okay, I understand it behind it. Which then I was like, okay, well, is an album good or bad if it's so deep that people can't get it on the first listen? And then I was like, I don't really know, actually. Like, I guess it depends. Like, pop albums should be understood on the first get, but then anyway. Did either of you guys listen to the Tortured Poets Department? Because I have like 10 times at this
I
point.
mean,
I have
really, I know like her songs that come on the radio, especially the one that was redone with goats. That's my favorite because that's so fucking funny. That video will never not be funny.
Okay.
I
I knew
know-
you were trouble when I walked in.
It's so good.
Will's vaginas and goats.
Yes, there you go. I love Folklore. Is that the
Folklore and
name?
Evermore. Folklore is actually a very excellent album. There's not a bad song on it. It's
I
really
love
good.
Folklore, and I that's like one of the things that will remind me of the pandemic because I think we all like were listening to it when it came out, but I've never picked up another one of her albums, so no.
Yeah.
I-
So
Not a
Folklore
one.
and the Fiona Apple album are the two
Yes.
albums.
Oh my god.
Because
Yes.
Fiona was like right at the start.
Yeah,
And
right at the
then
start, yeah.
Taylor was like midway through. And it was like, okay, these albums both actually have good tone for where we are
Yes.
in where we are.
Mm.
And I'm still not over, like we talked about it, but I'm still not over some of the lyrics on Fiona's album from that point.
So good.
So good.
So
Love
good.
Fiona. Yeah.
Um,
Taylor's just never done it for me. Like, I get it. I understand it's like a big thing for a lot of people and people really love her and whatever, but like, not for me.
see,
That's
I got her, but I was okay with not like being like a super stan until Folklore. And then I was like, oh my God, this is actually a really good album. So I listened to the Tortured Poets Department and I understand the criticisms. I also understand the stan point of view, but the thing that I agree with most from like the criticism is, so she released the album at midnight and then she released 13, because that's her lucky number, 13 additional tracks at 2 a.m. And I genuinely, truly think that if she had pared down combining, because the second half is actually very good. But the second half, you know, is not going to be like radio probably or award, whatever.
Mhm.
And I don't understand. And I think it's probably because I feel like the second half is more heavier on her ex-boyfriend of 6 years who was kind of boring. You know, like it wasn't like a dramatic breakup. So she wanted to get with like the flavor and like you know, just like the drama of the racist fucking asshole that she dated for a couple of months afterwards. And I feel like she did herself a disservice, and the producers were just, you know, if they were like, hey, maybe you should pick the best like 15 songs, 12, 15 songs from the 31 that you released total, and then release the rest as a bonus track like later on. Because I thought the first half was just kind of like okay. And then I heard the second half, which is mainly produced by the guy from The National who produced Folklore. And I was like, oh my God, like these are actually so much better. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't like these tracks are. So there's a song in that track that is called The Black Dog. And I honestly truly think that production wise, it's probably one of the best songs Taylor's ever released. The whole premise of the song is she and we guess her long-term boyfriend Joe broke up. And it starts out like, you know, I'm a person that used to share everything with, including your location on like iPhone. And I checked it because you forgot to turn it off. And I saw that you went into this bar in London. And, you know, then it turns into like, I'm imagining all these things you're doing in this bar without me because we broke up. And the chorus starts with like a bridge that ends with old habits die screaming. And it's very soft spoken, like, you know, like I'm sad up until then. And then the crescendo starts like she's actually screaming and goes back down. And like it ends up ending with like the last verse she's like screaming about how she hopes like his time is shitty, which could, and it's not even bad. Like she's like, I hope it's shitty and the black dog, that's the bar, blah, blah, blah. And then she ends up ending the song though in a whisper because every other time when she says old habits die screaming, which is checking his location, she ends it with a whisper, like old habits die screaming, like I get that I can't do this anymore and I give it up. And it's like actually really well done and like has layers and like is really good. And that song is on the bonus tracks. And that's the song that I truly hoped would have been like her whole album. Because it shows like self-awareness and growth and like actually like plays to her emotions. Like, because each time she says old habits die screaming going into the chorus, it gets less and less each time. Like it starts like angry and then like it's more accepting with every verse. And then like she gets mad at the very, very end and then ends with her saying it old habits die screaming, like whispering it. And I truly think it's like one of the best songs that they've ever, she and Jack Antonoff have ever done together. Like it's really, really good. And I kind of get mad when I think I'm like, oh my God, you guys could have had like a whole like 31 track album of songs that were like that good. Like anyway.
Yeah. I can't see myself. I get kind of similar to Amanda, like power to the Swifties, but I don't.
Yeah.
I
also just
neither hot nor
like,
cold.
It just
yeah. And I wonder, like, does she only write about breakups with her exes?
No, because
that's my understanding of the situation.
Like,
as an outsider looking in, that's great
fodder. And like I mean,
so this is the thing that was like the criticism is Folklore and Evermore were about other people, right? Like tangentially related to herself, but like she told other stories and they're really great. Midnight, she kind of like was like, I'm telling stories of my past life. And I was like, okay, like you're basically giving us like, you know, leftovers or whatever of past things you've gone through, but you know, whatever. So like to like kind of regress back to this, it feels kind of just like, oh, okay, like get it. You got this out of your system. Maybe you should see a therapist because you've got 2 songs about Kim Kardashian and that was 10 years ago.
Huh. I don't know. I don't even know what the story is there, but
don't worry about it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like.
But that said, like, okay, Mandy gave us some feedback from her daughter, and it's and she said, my favorite songs off TTPD so far are "I Can Do It With a Broken Heart," which actually is also a very good song because she basically it's one of the only songs that also sounds different. And she talks about how the whole premise of the song is she and Joe broke up within the first weeks of that giant tour that she did. That's like, you know, on Disney Plus now. And she talks about how she was doing it while they were breaking up and she was miserable doing it, but nobody knew. So that's the whole premise of the song. And it's actually like, it has a different beat. It's cool. It's like kind of like dance to it, whatever. Anyway, and Clara Bow is the first credited as being the first ever American it girl. And Taylor, did some research and talks about Clara Bow, Stevie Nicks, other women who were considered it girls, who women that came after them were told to be more like. So it's kind of like a comment on the industry. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is an interesting lyric and beat dynamic because the beat is very fun, but if you listen to the lyrics, they are very heavy and heartbreaking. They describe how Taylor feels heartbroken while also having to put on a show during the Eras tours, saying, and this is actually pretty fun too, because I'm miserable and no one even knows.
I know, weird.
Song.
Like, I mean, turns out like people end relationships all the time and do still have to go to work.
Yeah.
They do, and you know what? But they
That's
can also be
real.
miserable. And
people have to get up and live their life even during trauma. Like that is just
But I get that too. But that's the whole point of the show, is that she's doing it and she's miserable, but she's not letting anybody know that she's doing her job during trauma. At the end of the song,
which I would argue is everyone. I
relatable.
Most people can't.
Well, I think that's the point, is that that's
relatable.
what's relatable is about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, think about Prince William has canceled all of his appearances through the fall because his wife had cancer removed during her surgery that was probably a hysterectomy, and she's going through preemptive chemo, and he can't work or do anything until at least October because of it. So that's what I'm like. All right. At least Taylor's admitting that it sucks, but I have to work even though my job is fucking awesome.
She also doesn't have to work. That's the other thing.
True.
I know,
She
but she doesn't have to, but she
doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I know.
She has
I wish
enough money that she could just cash in and not have to worry about anything ever again. But anyway, again,
but she still does it.
No shade to the Swifties,
no shade to the hardworking people that fleece their fans of hundreds of dollars every time they release a new album. Okay. At the end of the song, admitting that she was trying to hide her pain and how people also, this was written by Mandy's daughter. So okay. She was trying to hide her pain and how people wouldn't even be able to tell. Next, Clara Bow is a song about song I loved as soon as I heard it. I feel it's written for the future of women and the entertainment industry, referencing both Clara and Stevie Nicks as women from industries past, which I absolutely love. I was also caught off guard when she mentioned her own name at the end of the song. That was actually kind of
that's a power move.
It was a decent lyrical movement where she was saying the premise of the song is she's a new person to the industry and she's executives are and it was based on one of her own experiences that they were telling her, executives were telling her, like, you need to be more like this person, then she would try to be like that person. They were like, you need to be like this person. So she added herself at the end, kind of like, like, people are going to tell you to be like me, but like blah blah blah. So I was also caught off guard when she mentioned at the end of the song. I loved all the Tortured Poet department and the anthology, the second part of the album that was released. I could go on more about songs I love from the albums. I don't know yet if it's replaced Folklore as my favorite album, but it's very close. I will say, as a grown-up person, I think Folklore is a little bit better, but I don't think Tortured Poets department is as bad as people are making it out to be, but I don't think it's also as great as the stands are making it out to be either.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like a 6 or a 7 out of 10, whereas Folklore I would actually rate a 10 out of 10. Like, I thought that was a pretty good album.
So it's no Cowboy Carter is what we're saying.
No, but okay, I want to also address that.
Okay.
I feel like it is not fair to compare the two because they are actually
valid,
very different genres and out for very, very different reasons.
Yeah. But I think I sort of say in the fact that, like, looking at like these two female artists at the top of their game, like,
Yeah.
you know, the biggest acts in the world. And like one album, it seems to be very like unifying across like lots of people that like wouldn't necessarily listen to that type of music are sort of, you know, looking at that album more favorably. And it sounds like Taylor's album just is,
I would agree that
yeah, there's
Beyonce's.
just a little,
think
yeah.
From what both artists have said, Beyonce set out to change country music. Taylor set out literally, she said, like, these are my poems and I put them to music. And I'm like, okay, that's very immature, but also at the same time, like, I'm never gonna tell like a woman that they can't, you know, say their feelings at the same
Right.
time.
I mean, that's the great thing about art that like you
Right.
can, and especially like when you're operating at that like that level that you have that kind of freedom to just like make the art you want to make,
Totally, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't,
Right,
it almost doesn't matter. It almost doesn't
Right.
matter if like some people pan it because, you know,
Exactly. And
she's
both
making
women,
enough money that she can continue to just make more albums and make whatever music
Exactly.
she wants
And
to make. And like
both
kudos to
women
her for
set
getting to that point in her career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that both women have enough power to set out to make the albums that they wanted to.
Yes. Yes. very
And that's
true.
pretty cool, like
Yeah.
in general. And I will say though, like Beyonce should win her first album of the year though.
Oh
'cause-
my god.
Oh man,
Yeah.
if she does not, I mean, really.
Right. Exactly.
For
but I'm not
real.
going to shit on Tortured Poets Department just because. Is it great? No. But is it as bad as people say? Also, no.
People
like,
also
I-
love to hate things, and they
People
also
also
love
love
to
to
hate
hate
things
things
made by women.
Specifically. Like people love to hate on Taylor Swift. Like
Exactly.
I
And
get
some
it.
of
Like
my issues
yeah.
with it is I don't want to like a song that is about somebody like Maddie Healy, who is a horrible human being. And unfortunately, like Taylor presents it where she goes through like, here's where I loved him, here's where I was infatuated with him, here's where he saved me from my like I was going crazy because I was in a relationship, and here's where I hated him. And it took kind of like too many songs to get to where like she hated him. But there are also enough songs on the album, and I figured it out because I did a bunch of interneting,
Mhm.
and her ex-boyfriend Joe was a piano player, and that's how they ended up writing Folklore together. Is he was tinkering on the piano during COVID, and she was like, oh my god, that sounds great, like let's write things together. So the songs that are very blatantly about him are very just piano heavy, right? Like they're just straight up, I'm playing the piano, any other instrument that comes in is kind of like to complement my piano playing. So it's kind of easier to distinguish the songs that you should like because they're about people that aren't fucking racist, like Maddie Healy.
Well, and that's the thing, like also with my level of involvement in Taylor Swift is like if I did listen to her stuff more, like I wouldn't know any of this. And I think I would be just totally fine with that.
Yeah. I think
know?
that she recognizes it, but again, that's where like people say she could use an editor. She takes too long to get to recognizing that he's a piece of shit. Like her piece of shit songs start like way too late in the album.
Well, as a rambler myself, I can
Okay, fine. You're speaking to my heart. You're speaking to my rambling heart.
No, it's funny that you mentioned Stevie Nicks though, because when I was talking about how like, oh, does she only write breakup songs? I mean, I will say like Fleetwood Mac's like The Rumors is
Okay.
or
First
Rumors
of all, you
is,
guys know my
amazing.
favorite. You know my favorite like meme of all time is the one that was like, someone once asked if we locked people who hate each other in a room and only fed them guitars, pianos, and cocaine, and Fleetwood Mac was like, first of all, fuck yes.
So good.
Taylor can name drop Stevie Nicks all she wants in her songs, but it's never going to be like that.
I think the difference is that was a collaborative effort where all the different points of view are on the same album.
And that was the 70s. And it was so different back then.
And they all have to play those other songs. They had to like
There was
perform
also
songs about themselves. It's so
Mhm.
good.
there was also a really great tweet, and I'm never gonna find that, but it was like to all the people who are all the Swifties who are just discovering Taylor making exes be in the studio while she, wrote songs about them, because apparently like some of the like songs, I guess, I don't know, like they were whatever it was, but it was just like they're just discovering Fleetwood Mac's. They were just discovering Stevie Nicks writing songs where Mick Fleetwood has to stare her in the has to play the guitar while she's death staring him in the face. It's so funny. I'll find the thing and I'll post
Yeah.
it because
I
it's
think-
really funny.
Mick
And
Fleetwood
that,
was
my
the drummer.
friends,
Lindsey Buckingham.
Lindsey Buckingham. Sorry, Lindsey Buckingham.
and that was
It's
a good
really
album.
funny though,
That
because
was a
it's
great
just
album.
like it's one of the songs that she wrote, and she is death staring him while he's playing it. I'm like, oh, stupid Swifties.
So young. So new.
Taylor didn't invent this.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. We have a bunch of other feedback, but for the name of time, maybe we should save it for next week.
Yeah.
That works.
My coach is
I am-
turning into a pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I know, Maggie, we got some from you. Andy, it is after 11, and we started recording at 8:30, and there's like a fuck ton that you guys are just gonna get edited out. Like, you are never
We've
gonna
been at
know.
this for a while.
Yeah,
In the vaults.
the lost 180 minutes of
The lost episode.
Maybe someday when everyone's like feeling okay about it, we can just
Yeah.
throw that out.
Yeah.
all
And some
the-
time has elapsed. And
Yeah.
we can
maybe
really,
yeah.
someday.
let the director's cut loose.
Exactly. Let me just say that a cat getting bleeding faces and another cat spilling water all over the desk in this episode is literally like the third and fourth worst thing that we've talked about.
The whole subterranean level.
There's a whole level of things that are literally like we're at 157 as we're recording this, and I guarantee you guys you're gonna get like less than 90 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I suppose for fun's sake, maybe we should just end with the match what she said. Just because
I
it
think
makes us
that's-
laugh.
I
Okay.
think that's fair.
Sounds good.
That's fair.
Go out on a high note.
Yep.
Oh yes. A high note, not like Taylor Swift's fucking douchebag racist ex-boyfriend, where she writes about how he was
Exactly.
high all the time.
Mm.
Huh. Taylor. All right. I thought there was someone on the roof doing some sort of strange banging.
Sounds fun. I watched a video about it. I had the exact box and everything, and I had no fucking idea how it was supposed to work.
Okay, wait. Can I interject with a small
Yes, please.
story?
Please
be-
do.
Because over the weekend, Franck learned what box also meant.
No.
I guess it had never come up. And the way that it came up was
Do you tell him it means a whale's vagina?
So it came up because my friend was telling the story about her partner's birthday dinner with like his family, and there was a cake, and his parents hadn't eaten it or something, and she goes just like totally, I mean, not meaning anything by it.
Yeah.
But the mom didn't really like cake, but the dad really did. So she was like, oh, well, Janet should just put it in her box and then Steve can eat it later.
It's me.
And I guess,
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
look, the parents didn't like register, but apparently my friend whose birthday it was just like died laughing. And they were telling us the story, and Franck was like, and then I was like, box is also a vagina. He's like, oh, got it. He was like, I knew I was missing something from that story.
Oh my god. Okay, 2 late entries for title. A box is also a vagina, and
Box is also
I
a
knew I
vagina.
was missing something.
Oh boy.
Okay. Woo, woo, woo. Where were we?
It came out yesterday.
Oh wait, that's
Oh,
me.
I think I.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
Let's just keep going.
Oh, I think I'm
Keep
in.
going. Keep going. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I said it. It's your turn now.
What did you say?
I said, oh, I think I'm in.
I feel like it's kind of double. Oh, doable. Oh, fuck.
Or double.
I feel like it's kind of doable.
Yeah.
We'll bring Jay to video it.
Yeah. It's all
In our big cabin on Lake Lore.
Right?
Wait, I already did mine. Your turn.
Mine?
I ended up.
What'd you say? What'd you
said
say?
it's all
We're,
coming.
we're
It's all
struggling
coming.
today.
Oh, shit. We are. Well, you know what?
Apparently, it's all not coming. Apparently,
It's not coming at all.
not coming.
Okay. Well, you know, something is not coming because I ended up fucking doing it myself tonight.
Should I just keep with this lady and do it as an experiment?
Yes. This is really cute, but I have not seen that before.
We're not going to do it today because it's involved.
I've never taken 2 before, and I don't even take 1 every day.
Yay for the squish squish.
Thank you, though, Matt. That was really fun.
Did I leave anything out?
At this point, I sure hope not.
I hope not. It's been a long fucking episode.
Oh boy, how's it just?
Has
Mhm.
it just? Woo! To all the things we edited out.
Broadcast version.
Oh my god, that's right. Oh my god, someday we're gonna have to release the broadcast broads version.
Yeah,
Yes.
the broad cut. Like, like extended cut.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Figured we're using all the words tonight.
Oh
Let's
my
just explain it.
Oh my god.
These are
So
so
wait,
good.
should I call this the pre-broad cut? No. Yeah. Well, we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. I'll send you, like I do, I'll send you a shitload of titles, and then some of you will see it and some of you won't.
Okay. Yeah, I just got that you said the broad cut, which is ingenious. I thought you had said the
Very.
broad cat, which makes less sense, but I love it.
No, that does make
The
less sense. Broad
broadcast.
cut.
The broadcast.
Got it,
Well,
got
that's
it.
what we're gonna have to call
But I'm here for
the.
both.
Broad
Yeah.
cut.
We have 3 broadcasts.
Oh, we do have 3 broadcats and one bro cat.
Okay, well, given
Okay.
it's after 11, and this is literally a full hour after we usually record, and nobody got my broadcast joke, so we're gonna go now. We love you all. We'll see you next week. The end. Bye. Okay. The broadcasters3@gmail.com if you have any feedback, or you can give us a call 331-276-2373. And Facebook group. Okay, cool. All those things. patreon.com/JandJack if you want to I don't know, be a patron. Next week maybe we'll be live. I don't know. Maybe if we're feeling crazy, we'll be live. We'll send a thing.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. Also, we're going to talk about Girls 5 Eva because I only have 3 episodes left, and that's like literally like 105 minutes. It's a thing that's doable. Watch it. We're going to talk about the whole series. Yeah, good times. All right, on that note, thanks guys.
Thank the patrons. Thank the patrons.
Thank you to the patrons that contribute a certain level, and that be Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a plan, and Ed the creepy poopy head mailman. Check out the other shows on the network. Survivor JJC is back, and Survivor has been nuts the second half of the season after sucking.
Can't wait
real
for the
bad
next
at first.
episode.
Oh my god. The Amazing Race is also back, and of course the Rebelcast After Dark, and us. Yay! Okay, well, on that note, everybody, thank you for listening. At some point, we're gonna need like 2 more commercial breaks. So if you get random commercials inserted, that's why. So just here's your retroactive. And maybe you won't, because maybe I'll just, who knows? Good night, everyone. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.